How to get forwards facial growth of the maxilla, the mandible, and the cheekbones, and retain your beauty potential. Let's start with the science-backed fundamentals, and I'll answer questions like thumb pulling afterwards. Mouth posture. Press your tongue against your palate from this spot. Make sure your tongue doesn't touch the back of your teeth. Seal your lips. Keep your teeth ever so lightly touching. Failure to apply natural mouth posture causes this instead of this. Science, 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 science. People who revert to natural mouth posture even between sentences when they speak look more like this and less like this. Keep your mouth shut whenever you aren't speaking or eating. If you can't apply mouth posture because you have a blocked nose, you must watch the health quadrant section later on in this video. To understand everything about how to apply perfect mouth posture, read from page 11 of my book. How to eat. Eat tough food using your hands and pull the food away firmly to break bits off. The tougher, the better. This promotes forwards growth here, here, and here. Then chew each mouthful about 30 times, evenly around the mouth, and then swallow. Science, 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 science. Read from page 21 of my book if you want to know more. Food must always be fully liquefied before you even think about swallowing. Speaking of that, swallowing. Swallow with your lips sealed and your teeth ever so lightly touching. The tongue needs to make a peristaltic wave from this spot. You'll recognize it from mouth posture. You can find it by saying la, na, da, ta. Suction everything using only tongue force. Then swallow it down firmly but slowly. Slower, longer duration swallowing has been found to improve facial development. Some science, even more science. Never ever use your lips or cheeks as part of a swallow. Swallowing should be so subtle that the only place you notice it is here, never here. Using cheeks and lips to swallow causes chubby cheeks instead of hollow cheeks. And as you age, that mass on your cheeks will slowly drop down. Read from page 30 to find out more. Body posture. Keep your head like this, not like this. It promotes ideal development. Here's an example of what happens when you do the opposite. Poor upper spine to head position can cause sloped foreheads and recessed maxillas, cheekbones, and mandibles. Here's an overlay of a beautifully developed skull over a poorly developed person who's pushed their head too far forwards and has terrible upper spine to head alignment. See the difference? Sloped foreheads develop due to the curving of the spine here and jutting the lower jaw forwards. It's a disaster. Always hold your head and spine like this instead. Science, science, more science. Read from page 33 if you want to know more. That is the beauty quadrant. All the details that you must follow if you want to promote forwards facial growth are on pages 11 to 38 of this book. These are the fundamental science-backed building blocks of all faces that grow proportionally and fit this facial beauty mask. Deviate away from the beauty quadrant and faces grow wrongly in many different ways. Maxillary sutures fuse at about 14 for girls and about 16 for boys. These sutures cause optimal facial growth when the natural pressures of the beauty quadrant are consistently applied. I'll show you how some adults who follow these fundamentals to the letter have improved their faces at the end of this video. The health quadrant is necessary when the nose gets blocked, which makes mouth posture impossible, and or when people eat soft foods, which ruins how to eat and swallowing, and or when people are so chronically inflamed that they can't maintain good body posture. People who can retain the beauty quadrant perfectly don't need to worry so much about the health quadrant if beauty and not health is their sole aim. That said, a perfectly applied health quadrant will help everyone live healthier lives, age far more slowly and gracefully, have naturally glowing skin, and more vibrant hair, eyes, nails, etc. Because, as this study shows, chronic inflammation causes premature aging. And all of these conditions are caused by a weak health quadrant. The worst affected people of all have started or completed the atopic triad. It starts with skin issues like eczema, then allergies, then hay fever, then asthma. You must ruthlessly eliminate chronic inflammation triggers immediately and forever. Anything that you breathe in, eat, or drink that affects your respiratory health and your breathing efficiency is awful for beauty potential. A weak respiratory system causes mouth breathing, overbreathing, and constant chronic inflammation. Here's how to improve your respiratory system, your overall health, and significantly slow down the aging process. Breathing. First, you must exclusively nose breathe. Then train yourself to breathe a low volume of air by following the breathing exercises in my book. This is a vicious breathing circle, and this is a virtuous breathing circle. Most people are more like this than like this. When you breathe in lots of air, you're more likely to have chronic airway inflammation, which can lead to airborne allergies and intolerances. And you're much more likely to mouth breathe in order to get enough air. Stamp this out immediately and forever by reading page 39 of my book. If you suffer from a blocked nose, follow the nose unblocking exercise immediately on page 40 and use it every time your nose becomes blocked. What to eat and when. If you've ever suffered from any of the following, the culprit is a leaky gut, where tiny particles of food sneak through your gut wall and into the bloodstream. Then white blood cells attack. When they attack, they cause collateral damage to healthy cells anywhere the blood flows in your body. That damage slowly accumulates unless you ruthlessly eliminate inflammatory trigger foods from your diet. Some suffer from skin conditions, others from arthritis, and others from heart disease. Eradicating all of your food intolerances is vital to being as healthy as possible. Failure to remove trigger foods will affect your beauty potential and your health potential, as you're more likely to have allergies, a blocked nose, and spiraling ill health. Read from page 45 to figure out how to fix your gut and transform your health quickly. By fixing your breathing and what you eat, you'll eliminate the source of chronic inflammation and the march to chronic diseases. Exercise. Being physically strong and having a strong respiratory system makes both your immune system and your body as a whole much stronger. When you exercise and you also implement the breathing exercises in my book, you'll have far healthier breathing and a better body posture. Read from page 51 for more. Vitamin D acts as a shield against chronic inflammation. Ever notice how when you sunbathe on holiday for 2 weeks, you feel better? It's because you're getting a big dose of vitamin D. And vitamin D is so effective at improving your respiratory health. Most people in the world today are dangerously deficient in vitamin D. To learn how to increase your vitamin D safely, go to page 54. To reduce asthma, overbreathing, and blocked noses, do the following 3 things. 1. Eliminate all trigger foods from your diet. 2. Reset your breathing volume. And 3. Exclusively nose breathe. The most common question I get asked is if teens or adults can improve their facial bones and promote forwards facial growth. The scientific answer I give is once cranial sutures are fused, bone growth becomes very difficult. There's no scientific evidence to suggest that an adult can dramatically improve their facial bones. But I did some digging of some adults who have applied the beauty quadrant obsessively, and here are some of their results. The second most popular question I get asked is whether thumb pulling can help. Again, no science backs it, but no science refutes it. And I'm not a looks maxer. I just provide information on naturally optimizing facial development. But I know one thing for sure. If you don't apply the fundamentals in my book, you're not going to see any benefits from anything else that you try. Add-ons like thumb pulling could theoretically work, but only if you have strong fundamentals before you start applying these add-ons. If you've wondered why some people benefit from this thing and other people don't, it's probably because having a bulletproof beauty quadrant will allow the add-ons to work more effectively. To learn the complete fundamentals for both facial beauty and overall health, get my book, Beauty Potential: How Facial Beauty is Retained or Lost, from your local Amazon site. And if you like this video, share it with your friends, comment below, repost, and thanks for watching.